Welcome back to Lifestyle Merida. My name is Aaron, and on this channel we discuss all things Merida. You decided that you are going to take a vacation and you're going to be coming down to Merida. That's great. Now, one of the questions you may have is where you should stay, whether you should stay downtown. And if you're coming on a quick trip, the answer is definitely yes. And when I say quick trip, I mean something 3 to 4 days long. And the reasoning behind that is that downtown Merida is very walkable and you have everything in real close proximity. So you've got your lodging, your restaurants, parks, you have museums, shopping. And one of the cool things about being downtown is every night one of the parks downtown will have a music festival where they do some traditional Mexican dancing. There'll be mariachis, there'll be sometimes skits, sometimes stuff even more elaborate than that. But if you happen to be downtown on a Sunday, then it's the center park that is shut down. And when I say shut down, it's shut down to vehicles. So vendors come out and it's a big deal. It's very, very local. It's not a tourist trap at all. There's tons of people, tons of things to do, and it's very, very enjoyable. So as I said, if you're on a short trip, 3 to 4 days, for sure, stay downtown. Now, if your trip is a little bit longer than that, I would suggest that you stay maybe in the north end of Merida. A couple of neighborhoods that come to mind would be Francisco de Montejo or the Americas. If you can find an Airbnb in one of those neighborhoods, it's really nice because then you're 20 minutes from Progreso, which is the closest beach to us, but also you're 20 minutes from downtown. Now, you may think to yourself, well, I don't really want to stay in a neighborhood. Well, neighborhoods in Mexico are nothing like what you may be used to. In the neighborhoods, there's plenty of dining, and in fact, you can go and eat for much cheaper than what you would be able to eat downtown. So there's some cost savings to that. Also, during the daytime, instead of going to restaurants, you could choose to go to what they call cocinas económicas, and what those are is kind of a place that does a plate lunch or they ration out food. And what they do normally is every day they'll have two different dishes. One's a very traditional dish, and in Merida, every day of the week there is a specific food that people tend to eat. It's very traditional. On Monday it's frijol con puerco, and it goes down the list all the way to Sunday when you get to cochinita, but they also will serve something other than that. And usually a full ration, they call them rations, will feed about 2 adults. My wife and I, when we've gone, we usually buy a ration and a half, and that feeds both us and our 3-year-old daughter without a problem. Now, the other reason I suggest that you stay in the neighborhoods is, it's no secret that Mexico's hot, and you have to find ways to beat the heat, especially if you're going to be down there, well, just about the entire year. Really, only December and January it cools off, and even then it can be hot. So when you're in the north side of the city, you have access to the malls that are in the area. And, right off the top of my head, I think about 2 malls in particular that if you're just looking to cool off and get out of the heat and do something that may not be quite as touristy, but something cool regardless, then The malls are a really good option. They're very, very modern. They've got a lot of North American inspiration, but they also have a lot of European inspiration. In fact, one of the malls I'm about to tell you about, it has a lake out behind it, and it's a man-made lake. The Yucatan Peninsula has no natural lakes. So any lake that you see down there is man-made. What we do have are cenotes, and that's a topic for a different subject, or for a different day. Now, in this man-made lake, what's kind of cool about it is they've got a track that that you can take and you can ski around it. So that's really cool, and it's a good way to cool off. Now, there's another mall on that side of the city, and it is Gallerias Mall. Now, what's cool about this mall is there is a indoor ice skating rink in there. So, 105 degrees outside, ice skating rink on the inside. Can't beat it. Now, both of these malls have really nice movie theaters in them as well. And you may be thinking, well, I don't speak Spanish, so why would I go see a movie? Well, you don't have to worry. In Mexico, all the movies that are being shown at the theaters are in English with Spanish subtitles. So you won't have a problem with that. There is one exception to this rule, and that is that children's movies, your Disney movies or whatever, they are dubbed. But other than that, you won't have a problem. So one of the other things that I wanted to talk about is, well, okay, I'm out in the neighborhood. Well, how do I get downtown? Well, that's really easy, and it's really inexpensive. Uber in Mexico is really cheap. You're not going to spend more than $5 either way. Now, if you're very adventurous and don't mind taking a little bit of risk, you could, and I would recommend at least once, that you take a bus ride in Mexico. Now, any of the buses that you take in the neighborhoods will take you downtown. Now, I would recommend that you ride it going downtown, because once you get to downtown and offload off of the bus, well, a lot of the buses drop off and pick up in two different areas, so you may not be on the right bus on the way back, and that's no fun. So what I would suggest is ride the bus downtown, get an Uber when you're done with the night, and to bring you on back. And on this video, I've got 2 bonus tips for you. So here's bonus tip number 1. When you're downtown and shopping for little things to take back, souvenirs or gifts for your friends, when you're shopping, do not buy the sticker price. In Mexico, haggling is not only accepted, it's expected. Most of the time you can get 25 to 30% off. Every once in a while you'll be able to get 50% off on something if you're willing to haggle. Now, the other part of that is, if you see something you like, chances are they have the exact same item in the store next door. Check twice, buy once. That's tip number 1. And tip number 2, oh my gosh, I ate something and it's tearing my stomach up, or I've got a little cold, or whatever. If you're staying in the neighborhoods and it's a non-emergency medical issue that you're dealing with, go to the pharmacy first. If the pharmacy says similares or farmacias similares, what you're looking at is a pharmacy that specializes in generics. So any medicine you get there is going to be cheaper. And a lot of times the pharmacies have a doctor that works in-house or have access to a doctor through a telehealth service. So those are the 2 tips for this video. If you found value out of any of this, I would really, really appreciate a subscribe or a like. I'm trying to grow this channel, and second video in, and hope to have you guys watch me again. Really enjoy this. Bye.